My book, Triangle X Squared Circle, the wrestling video game compendium, is live on Kickstarter right now. In breaking news, we've hit the funding goal. So this book does officially exist, this book is officially being published, and there are still stretch goals. So if you haven't grabbed your copy yet and you want one, feel free to do so. The campaign's only running for like 2 more weeks, I think. Thank you so much to everyone who has grabbed a copy. Seriously, this thing only exists because of you. Now let's get to Mortal Kombat.
And now for our feature presentation.
It is no secret that I love the Mortal Kombat movie. The one from 1995, obviously. The first one. Not that movie they did in 2021. I've spoken about the Mortal Kombat movie many times on this very channel. Most notably in the history of Mortal Kombat Part 6, Box Office Annihilation, which, if you weren't aware, is gone. If you didn't watch it in the 6 years it was live on YouTube, you missed your chance, as Warner Brothers and WWE tag teamed to block that video worldwide. Why? Because they can. I broke 0 rules. Everything I did was 100% inside of fair use guidelines and practices, but that didn't stop Warner Brothers specifically from sticking 18 different copyright claims on the video. Several of those claims are literally footage of me on screen, which, you know, I guess they own that. Who would have thought? YouTube does nothing to help creators in these situations at all, so when I appeal WB's claims and they just respond with, "No, we're right," I'm just screwed, so there's nothing I can do about it. So why am I here to talk about the 1995 Mortal Kombat movie again? I mean, it's because I still have more to say about it. And I've already gone through the history, the casting choices, how it performed at the box office, blah blah blah. Today I want to talk about why this movie works so well from virtually every angle. From the handling of individual characters to the importance of wins and losses in key moments, into iconic pieces of the Mortal Kombat legacy that you may not even realize don't come from the games, but from this movie. After the break, we'll get into it. This is Mortal Kombat 95. Still the best video game movie? Every video here on 616 Entertainment is made possible by my supporters over on Patreon. If you enjoyed the show here today, consider signing up. You'll get early access, exclusive videos and podcasts, and more. Pro Wrestling Tees has the merch. As always, thank you for watching. Now let me be clear about the title. There's a question mark there for a reason. I'm not declaring Mortal Kombat is the undisputed king of video game film adaptations. I think the Silent Hill movie from 2006 is pretty goddamn good. I did a whole retrospective on it on my show Scream Sequence. The first Resident Evil movie from 2002, while a departure from the source material, has some major charm to it, and I would argue was also pretty good. Wouldn't you know it, I did a whole retrospective on that one for Scream Sequence as well. Detective Pikachu was cool. I actually think all 3 Sonic movies are great. Look, we live in much better times than we used to. The Last of Us is a TV show and doesn't count. Delete your comment. I have major problems with the 2021 Mortal Kombat movie, and those are problems that I will address later on in this very season of Mortal Kombat Monday, in a video just like this. But that's not what we're here to do today. We're not here to talk about where the 2021 movie went wrong. We're here today to talk about what the 1995 movie did right. I'm not gonna run through the plot. You know the plot. You've seen the movie probably 100 times. So rather than spend today's video running down story beats you've had memorized for 30 years. Holy shit, this movie is 30 years old, isn't it? Rather than spend today's video running down story beats that you've had memorized for 30 years, I want to zoom in on the characters themselves. How they're handled, the importance of what they do, and the importance of how they're used. Let's just take it scene by scene. Check this out. We open on the main bad guy, destroying and murdering an opponent who obviously has no business in the ring with him. This is like Kramer fighting children, just way worse, on a deadly level.
Your brother's soul
With those words, we've established the main feud of this movie. Next scene, Sonya Blade, guns blazing, breaks into an underground nightclub in search of the elusive and infamous Kano, the man who killed her partner. Kano is working with Shang Tsung in order to bait Sonya Blade into a trap. Up next, Johnny Cage shoots a fight scene for his new movie, and he gets fed up with an actor who forgets the choreography. In the middle of his tantrum, Cage comes face to face with his former instructor, who offers Johnny a way to prove his doubters wrong. The most prestigious martial arts tournament in the world. Liu Kang, returning home for his brother's funeral, is confronted by a man called Raiden, a man that these monks refer to as a god. This god drives the point home. There's far more going on here than Liu Kang's myopic familial revenge quest. The entire world is at stake. Now, I don't know if you're picking up exactly what I'm putting down, so let me put it to you very clearly. Inside of just 4 scenes, we've already introduced our main villain, our secondary villain, our 3 main protagonists, and their coach/team captain. And not only have we introduced all of these characters, but we have established all of their individual storylines and motivations. We know where they're going, what they're doing, and why they're doing it. I mean, just look at it. Sonya seeks justice for what Kano did to her partner, and rather than arresting him for murder like her job normally entails, she's chasing him onto a remote island and entering a fighting tournament she has no business in. Johnny Cage, labeled a fraud, wants to prove he really is the best, with his desperate need for acceptance and outside validation making him an easy target to someone who knows his weaknesses. Liu Kang is the good guy's greatest hope, and the death of his brother, while seemingly fuel to his fire, will have him running on anger rather than skill and perseverance. All 3 of our main protagonists have a motivating factor that doubles as a trap waiting to be set, a weakness waiting to be exploited by an evil mastermind who has puppeted this entire situation. All of this, by the way, happens in the first 14 minutes of this movie. That's how you do it. That's how you set everything up. And this movie never takes its foot off the gas, by the way. It's all go from here. Through their introductions and storylines, we can see these characters are getting the treatment they deserve narratively. But in the fighting realm, it gets even better. Let's look at Liu Kang. His first battle is against this guy, who we don't know. He's not an established member of the Mortal Kombat roster. You might complain about this. You might wonder why they wouldn't slot in, Cabal or Baraka or somebody like that. And the answer is simple. It's because Liu Kang beats this guy and Shang Tsung kills him. We wouldn't want this to be somebody like Rain or Shiva because, look what they did to Rain and Shiva in the sequel. They're present, they're nothing, and they're wasted. This guy just being a cool looking dude who actually surprisingly gets some shit in on Liu Kang. We're getting a good fight here where our babyface goes over without making an established character look weak. And that phrase right there, making an established character look weak, that plays into Scorpion and SubZero here in this film. Let's talk about the palette swap ninjas. Now I'll address the elephant in the room first. One aspect of this film that some seem to dislike is how SubZero and Scorpion are portrayed. Rather than at each other's throats, they're standing side by side. Rather than operating under their own free will, they are pawns of Shang Tsung. I can see why this might bother some, wouldn't it have been cool for these two to engage in their classic conflict on the big screen? Sure, in theory, but think about what that would entail. You don't get to just insert another massive storyline that requires the points of view and motivations of 2 iconic characters which, if done well, would also require its own beginning, middle, and end, and the flow of this film remains the same. That's just not possible. Honestly, I think a Scorpion and SubZero storyline, if we're doing it the right way, that's its own movie. So rather than trying to smash that in here, doing too much and taking time away from our three main protagonists, the writer and director of this film found a way to use Sub-Zero and Scorpion in a way that is, in my mind, the next best thing. The first time we see them, Shang Tsung labels our palette swap ninjas as the deadliest of enemies, saying right from the jump, you don't want to mess with these guys. This dude? Sure, you can challenge him. These guys all at the same time? Hey, go for it. But you don't want no piece of Sub-Zero or Scorpion, trust me. Later on, Shang Tsung's demonstration of, you're all totally fucked by the way, is to just let Sub-Zero do his thing. That's all you need to know. Shang Tsung arranges for Liu Kang to fight Sub-Zero because he knows that Liu Kang is the chosen one and he's trying to get rid of him. In hand-to-hand combat, Liu Kang has nothing for Sub-Zero. When he finally lands one strike, Sub-Zero goes, yeah, okay, fuck this. And if it weren't for Katana giving Liu the inside track, the cheat code on the side, Liu Kang would have been done. So even in a loss, Sub-Zero looks like $1 million. Scorpion beats the absolute shit out of Johnny Cage for minutes at a time. He pulls off all his tricks, he gets all his shit in, and he's only beaten when Johnny Cage resorts to using weapons. And Scorpion's death is fantastic. Come on. I've never had a problem with the way the palette swap ninjas were handled in this movie, and when I first read that sentiment online, like, oh, Scorpion and Sub-Zero were wasted or whatever, I was surprised. I would love to know where you fall on this situation. Let me know down in the comments. And keeping with the themes of characters being portrayed in certain ways, let's look at Raiden. Never in the games was Raiden this wisecracking coach who doesn't beat his students over the head with lessons, but tosses subtle hints in order to let them discover what it is they're supposed to do. Christopher Lambert's performance in that regard has gotten some heat over the years, and this is not something that would carry on into the future. Unlike Trevor Goddard's portrayal of Kano, which is where that character's accent initially came from, Trevor Goddard's Kano became the Kano for all time after this movie came out. Goro is a perfect example of doing things the right way. Goro is royalty. He's the prince of the Shokan, and you can pick that up simply from how he carries himself. He's well-spoken, he's intelligent, he's regal, and he belittles somebody like Kano, who Goro considers a dirty and disgusting moron from the other side of the world. How did they handle Goro as a fighter in this movie? He kills like 15 fucking guys, one after the other, like nothing, just to pop the crowd. It's light work. One-on-one with Art Lean, a friend of Johnny Cage's and an accomplished kickboxing star, light work. Chop to the head like Great Khali, done with it. When Goro does finally lose, what happens? It's the same formula that Scorpion and Sub-Zero fell to. Babyface tomfoolery. Johnny Cage used weapons against Scorpion. Liu Kang had his katana cheat, and Johnny knows he'll get crushed by Goro in a hand-to-hand fight, so he doesn't fight him. He outsmarts him. He leads him away from the one-on-one combat zone and baits him to the edge of a cliff. And if punching him in the balls to kick things off wasn't enough, then Johnny Cage sneak attacks Goro. This is not how normal good guys behave. Our good guys are not these generic, most incredible fighters who never lose and they always have the answers. No, our good guys are being forced to dip into bad guy tactics just to scrape by in this ongoing war where everything is at stake. And I love it. There's one scenario where this is not the case, and that is Sonya Blade versus Kano. This fight is straight up hand to hand. It's back and forth. Kano seemingly got Sonya right where he wants her. He's bigger and stronger, She's done. Nope, she pulls off some crazy Frankenstein triangle choke sort of bullshit, and when Kano begs for his life, let's quickly look at Reptile, who absolutely takes it to Liu Kang for the majority of this battle. He beats the brakes off our main hero, and keep in mind, this is a Liu Kang who has it all now. This is a Liu Kang who Raiden said, "I have nothing left to teach you." Even in his prime form, Reptile wears Liu Kang out for like 5 minutes straight. Liu eventually turns the tables and picks up the win, but I mean, this is the best and most respectful portrayal of Reptile as a character and threat than he had gotten, I mean, probably up until 2023's Mortal Kombat 1. And the final battle, Shang Tsung versus Liu Kang, our villain did everything he could to avoid this happening. He tried to have Liu killed multiple times. He captured Sonya and tried to fight her because he knows he could beat her. When Liu Kang begins to fulfill his destiny, Shang Tsung starts cheating. He's playing tricks, and despite playing his best card, Liu sees through it, eventually defeating Shang Tsung in brutal fashion. What I love about this fight and, this entire movie really is that nobody looks like a fucking idiot. At no point in this film, bad guy or good guy, does anyone have the rug swept out from underneath them and they wind up looking like a complete buffoon. And if you've seen other movies in this genre, other adaptations I should say, the 2021 Mortal Kombat movie stands out, you know what I'm talking about. But again, that's another conversation for another time. Don't even get me started on how we build spikes for 5 minutes before we use them. They knew how badly we wanted to see somebody fall on spikes, and boy do they tease us with this spot before finally giving it to us. Perfect. The theme song, perfect. I can't play more than like 4 seconds of it, but I don't have to. You know it. What many didn't realize for a very long time was that this song, while synonymous with the Mortal Kombat franchise, this song had nothing to do with the games. This song was made for the movie. It wasn't until 2019's Mortal Kombat 11 that this song ever touched the games. And this movie's influence has that effect all over the place. It has begun. That's not from the games. It's from this movie. Johnny Cage and Sonya Blade in Love, that wasn't in the games. That came from this movie. Even the musical cues from this movie that punctuate the dialogue, those cues are being borrowed by the games nearly 30 years later.
Avarice and ego have again proved your undoing. We have no choice but to eradicate you.
It is you who will be eradicated.
I'm not trying to say that this movie is perfect, Dan. I'm just saying, it's great. It's an amazing adaptation of a video game that came out in 1992. The entire cast of the first game are present in the movie, and they're all super important to what's happening. We're not subbing out an established hero for some new studio creation for no reason whatsoever. We're celebrating the existing roster. And on the other side of that same coin, we're not sacrificing an established villain just to make a hero look good for 2 seconds. We're subbing in a studio creation to protect a character who doesn't need to take that loss. This is good shit. Is the movie far less violent than the game? Absolutely. Could I have gone for more blood? Of course. Does the lack of blood ruin the movie? No. Are the animatronics on Goro incredible? Yes. Can I see the wrinkles in the black curtain that makes up the sky behind the boat? Also yes. I'm not painting this as a flawless victory. I just wanted to take the time to focus on what makes the 1995 Mortal Kombat movie so special. In my mind, it's the respect shown to the source material. That doesn't sound like a big ask, but you've seen some of these video game movies. You know what I'm talking about. Oh, there it is, Dan. A look back at Mortal Kombat's 1995 big screen debut. I loved it then, I love it now, and I damn sure am going to love it forever. I want to know what you think about this movie, and I also want to know what you think about my stances that I've shared here today. You and I don't always agree, and that's fine. I want to know what you think. And I also want to let you know that my book, Triangle X Squared Circle, the Wrestling Video Game Compendium, is live on Kickstarter right now, and breaking news, we've already hit the funding goal. This book is officially happening. It's officially going to be published, and that is all thanks to you. There are still stretch goals, so if you haven't grabbed a copy yet, feel free to do so. Maybe we can knock some of these out. Now, this campaign is only going to be running for another 2 weeks, I think. And then that's it. You're not going to find this book in stores or anything like that, so this is it. Get them while they're hot, because they won't last forever. That's going to do it for this week's Mortal Kombat Monday. As always, thank you for watching, and until next time, I love ya, and I will see you soon.